Okay, so right, let's move on to catering. So I'll get rid of these. I don't want to eat my boots. Okay, so catering, this was kind of a huge one. Now, obviously, whenever anybody thinks about wild camping or anything like that, or especially taking your children out to go camping, the idea is like, oh, we can have a fire. And the first thing that, is just, it's really stressed within camping is, leave no trace. There should be no evidence that you've been there, and probably the worst thing for that is a charcoal mess where you've burned a bit of wood for a night. So that's actually frowned upon in Dartmoor, where I'm looking forward to going wild camping. The one bit that I was unfamiliar with of this little walk that I'll take my children on when we go camping this weekend, I went to familiarise myself with it just after work. I ran by and I did the length just so that I knew. They're going to think that we're lost and they're going to have to try and read the map, but it'll be a good experience for them. But anyway, when I was there, I just saw this big mess of where someone had had a fire and a few beers and things like that, and it was just, it's a shame. Anyway, so you can't toast marshmallows on a fire when you go camping. Just can't happen. So you need a stove. So the first thing to get for cooking is you want to choose what kind of stove or cooking equipment you might want. Now I don't know about you, but when I've seen people going camping, it's camping. So they're in their camper van, or they're in a tent in a field or something like that, and they're near the car, so they'll have these camping stoves, and they're great, they're fantastic. I actually had one of those offered to me very kindly by someone. Sorry, I realised I've got my cleavage out, haven't I? But of course, my ideas of going off backpacking, I need everything compact and lightweight because I'm so Bear Grylls. But if I'm buying, I only want to buy once and for my ideal, and I want to work towards that. So what I need is something compact, lightweight and functional. And the person I went camping with a couple of weeks back, she had something similar to what you might have heard about, which is a jet boil. And essentially it's a sort of a single stove attached directly to a pot. And then it's primarily promoted as something to boil water. But if you check out reviews for anything, everybody uses it to sort of chuck soup in, or maybe a bit of curry or noodles and stuff like that. So you cook in it. It's not promoted by the companies as the way to use it. It's a water boiler, but generally, that's what I've seen people using it for, i.e. my friend. And all of the reviews would have people using it to cook in. So she actually didn't go with jet boil. She told me that she used one called Alp Kit, and I saw her using it and we ate from it and it was great. And it cooks much faster. The engineering of the device means that it channels heat effectively, it uses less gas, and you're able to cook very efficiently, especially if you're just cooking for you or maybe one other person. But the Alp Kit version was absolutely fantastic. I don't know what else you would get in a jet boil, and certainly from reviews, say looking on Amazon, which is the best place to look for reviews that you can trust, a lot of people vouch for these cheaper stoves, and so I got one. Now, it wasn't the Alp Kit, which I wanted to do because I'd obviously seen one working, and I could trust that as a review. I'd eaten the warm food from it, but I couldn't get an Alp Kit one. What I got instead was the next highest reviewed, I wouldn't say knockoff, but what do you say, other version. Whoops. So this is not a jet boil. Jet boil is industry leader, I would say, but there are lots of others out there that are very highly reviewed, and lots of people on the reviews, I keep saying the word reviews, lots of people on the reviews keep comparing to jet boil and saying, I had a jet boil, this is as good if not better, certainly for the price. And that's what we're always trying to weigh up, isn't it? Do you have to pay so much for the quality? And when you see reviews saying, I've tried both, this does the job, it's great, you can kind of trust that. So anyway, yeah, this is the Highlander FastBoil Mark III. I'll do a whole video about this because these are awesome. and that will more than meet the needs for certainly me cooking alone. But also, I don't think the Alpakit one had this that my friend had, but you could take the pot off, and then it's got this little bit that you put on for as a stove. And then of course you can use it more like a typical, you know, cheap gas stove that you would use. So you attach it to the gas, you put your stove on. This is a huge one. There weren't any small ones in stock in 2 camping shops that I went in. No, 3. So I've got a big one for this time. But yeah, you've got the stove, and then you might, you know, use that. I assume that works. I've seen it work on videos. So yeah, a bit more bulk cooking. There's the option there. That's pretty cool. So again, also I've got these. These would usually cost you about maybe £10–15, a couple of mess tins, do you call them? I was actually given these by somebody that knew that I was starting out in camping. So so they're pretty nice. Give some options. Don't know why I've got a torch in there. And then all I've got is a typical bowl and a spork, a good old spork. And for cleaning, I guess I'll use wet wipes for all of that. Now water, water is really important, so I'm going to carry as much water as I can all the time. I've got 2 litres. I won't use this bag, but within that I've got a bladder which I'll use, and that'll carry 2 litres, and I'll carry some additional bottles, I guess. But I went and got this water to go water filter. Now 3-in-1 filter. Now a lot of people really swear by these, and then they might use a what was it, iodine tablet to further, you know, purify water. But this filtering does a fantastic job as it is. And I didn't realize it when I bought it, but at the top, the actual filter there, often they can fit into any bottle. So when you buy the filter, and you could stick it into a water bottle and it'll filter through the water. And this lasts, what was it, 2 months, or a particular amount of yeah, so I'll do a further video on that. But just in case I can't carry enough water, and there are some nice sort of freshwater rivers around, some guidance I got was always go to the highest ground you can and find somewhere where water is naturally filtered by stuff like rocks and more natural springs. You know, at least go and check that there's not a dead animal just, you know, rotting in the river up above. I personally hate the thought of drinking from a river, a water source like that. So I'll always try and carry my own water for what I need. But I thought it was sensible to get that. So I've got that. So I can cook, I can gobble up food, you know, just easy spork or whatever. And then water, I'll use the bladder from this, but not the actual bag. I think that's pretty much it, unless I'm missing something, but that should take care of all the essentials. And then I'll take food. So I'm actually going to just, you know, take a couple of tins. I know that might be quite heavy. You can buy these expensive packs of food, but I'm going to stick with a couple of tins. I'm only out for a couple of days and a night, so I can handle that. My friend, and I've seen other people do it would sort of like mix in some pre-packed rice. So you can either mix it right into the tin and warm it up with that, or just eat it on the side as well. So I'm going to take some rice and some tins, and then for breakfast probably just going to take some just add water porridge pots, which you can get. They're really cheap and they're really light, and I think they're really yummy. And in terms of cups, you know, I'm definitely going to take some coffee. Actually, in that, when it's all packed up, there's a bit of room where you could put some sachets of things, and you know, just make the most of the room that's in there. You know, you can go and get camping cups and things like that. This is probably cringy newbie stuff, but where was it? Mountain Warehouse. They were on sale and I couldn't resist. I was on a budget, but you know, these really trendy sort of, you know, camping cups, you know, explore the unknown. And this one you know, not all those who wander are lost. You know, I'm so niche. But you know, whatever, that's cool. They're on sale and they were buy one get one free, so it was like okay, I need a cup, that's fine. But also I got these little these other little cups. I'll give one to my, you know, the 2 children of mine that will come camping. So they're kind of exciting camping cups. But you know, that's all you need. It's a bowl, a spork, a bit of water, and the food, and I think that's going to be okay, and some snacks. So, you know, some energy bars or something just crammed into parts of your rucksack, easily accessible. As far as food goes, I think we've got the basics covered for a couple of days. And yeah, I feel really confident with this. Can have tea and coffee, food, warm food, and, you know, porridge in pots. I think that's all fantastic. Looking forward to some camping grub. Little thing that I should say actually is that I have a very delicate stomach. Like if I go somewhere and eat from a buffet, I'm probably, you know, this is disgusting, but I'm probably going to experience what my brother refers to as the splats. And actually, when I told him that I was going camping a couple of weeks back, he said, "Oh God, yeah, I hope your tummy's all right." And, you know, too much information, but it wasn't. And I'm expecting that I'm going to find that difficult, you know, this weekend. I don't know why it is, but I'm incredibly delicate. And so what I'm thinking is that part of that could be things like, you know, keeping clean and keeping things clean. Now I'm quite into that. So the best advice that I think I've heard, and I'll put it to use, is really, you know, have wet wipes, or, you know, or you can have even like disinfectant wet wipes, you know, Dettol, I think they are, from a pound shop. It's probably worthwhile. You know, you can clean the gunk off things, and then you just give it a nice little rinse around. And, you know, if you're of a delicate disposition like me, well, I'm hoping that saves my ass, and I mean that quite literally. But yeah, you know, I'm just passing on what I hope is useful information. So yeah, I'm gonna I think this is my cup. Not all those who wander are lost. I'm gonna, you know, sit by an imaginary fire, because you can't have fire, and I'm gonna have my whiskey, i.e. coffee, from my Mountain Warehouse commercial cup. But don't care, love it, looking forward to it. So that's my catering setup, and yeah, I think it's going to be all good.